Which one am I going to be looking at?
You can fluctuate between both.
Okay.
And 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Tuesdays with Dr. Traci. Yay! Tuesdays with Dr. Traci. All right. Yes. Well, good evening, folks. Welcome to Tuesdays with Dr. Traci on this very fine and warm evening here in DC. It's quite warm outside, but yet lovely. I hope your day has been wonderful and productive. I'm excited about this Tuesday. I did miss you all last week, so I'm sending you much love. Um, I hope you've had a great week as well since we were last here. Uh, this weekend, I celebrated my birthday on Saturday. So, yes, another trip around the sun, and so grateful to God for life. Okay, and we have Michaela here too. She celebrated her birthday on the 3rd on Friday. Woo, 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 woo. Go, Michaela. Go, Michaela. It's your birthday. Ooh, ooh. And she's really doing the birthday dance, y'all. I promise y'all. So, this week, we're going to talk about positive affirmations. Okay, I think that's going to be pretty exciting to be able to talk about positive affirmations. But before that, we have a little bit of business to handle, just a wee bit. Okay, if you remember last time, I was giving away this wonderful book by Michael Harriot, Black AF History. It's an amazing book. I've heard a lot of wonderful things about it. I'm ready and excited to get into it myself. But hey, I am giving these away. I had 3 copies to give away to the first 3 people who actually jumped on live. I don't mean just being on live stream, but actually hit that button to allow your face to be shown, okay, and join in a live conversation with me. And you'll get one of these for free. Okay, you can just get on and say hello. You can get on and ask a question. You can make a comment. Okay, whatever you would like. But we want to be able to see your face and show you some Sankofa love. Okay, again, this book absolutely free. Okay. And so I'll be waiting. We were able to give away one. Okay. So I want to be able to give away the other 2. So please do not be bashful. Come on and get on live. We would love to see your beautiful face in the place. Okay. Also, all right. Uh, this is Sankofa, right? And it is a bookstore. So Hallie Garima, okay, the owner of the bookstore, he has his picks. Okay, Kamal Malik's pick of the week is really great. Kamal goes in, he deep dives into the book. Now, see that's not me. That is Kamal's lane, and I'm staying far out of it. But I promise that I will show these 2. I'm just showing. Okay, just to let you all know the different selections that we have, and especially for Mr. Garima, that he has his special picks as soon as you come in the store. One is The Choice, The Issue of Black Survival in America by Samuel Uti. Okay, here you go. So that's the first one. Okay. And the second one is Our Land Before We Die by Jeff Gent. By I'm sorry, Jeff Gent. Okay. I was getting ready to give him a new name, but Jeff Gent. Okay. Our Land Before We Die. Okay. So you should definitely come in the store and check these out, or you can get them offline. Okay. So now down to business, positive affirmations. This has just been on my mind, on my mind, on my mind. So, um, in life, there are so many things that come at us, right? On a day to day basis, our lived experiences. And what happens is sometimes we get so many negative things to come up, especially within the Black community, living in a society and even a world, okay, of anti Blackness, anti African, ness, and various types of paradigms that help to build a global, I guess, yeah, I'm gonna say a global system, okay, a white supremacy that suppresses or exploits and oppress people who are of color or non-white. And in those type of environments, you are constantly experiencing the violence of that, even if it's psychological. Okay, Frank Fanon talks about that. Paulo Freire, the violence of just being under the oppression, the psychological issues that it causes us mentally, emotionally, physically. We have to fight off all of that. Okay, and then it's just your more localized type of trauma or life experiences that can just be like you know and sometimes it makes you feel like I'm not winning, I'm less than, I'm not enough. We can go on and on and on of the various negative things that may cross our minds, the thoughts that we spend every day fighting off, just trying to make it from day to day, right? So, with those come certain doubts and fears, and it can really be overwhelming. Trying to carry all of that and trying to fight through all of that, dig through all of that. And Lord have mercy, we're not going to talk about relationships because once we talk about that, that brings in a whole nother level, or even just some issues we may have had with parents or growing up, childhood issues, adult issues, being in the workplace, not feeling fulfilled or receiving negative remarks there. It can come, negativity can come from anywhere. Okay. I don't care where you are in life. It can be in school, in a classroom, it can be in a grocery store. And living while black in America, it can happen in the park, in your own apartment, while you're sleeping. It doesn't matter where, it can happen anywhere, even in church or places of worship, period. So, how do we regain ourselves? How do we combat that? How do we start to change that negativity into positivity? There's no one answer, but we just going to chat up about some things so that we can begin to think about ways to affirm not just ourselves but those around us. But we can't really affirm others if we don't feel affirmed ourselves, right? So we have to start with us. So as I was thinking, right, no, I'm not going to be preaching or anything like that, but I must say there is a scripture that talks about life and death in the power of the tongue. Life and death in the power of the tongue. And there is so much truth to that. And the words that we say can either preserve life in us, okay, or it can attract negativity and death and darkness. So, how do we attract, okay, love and light and positivity? How do we do that? What does that look like? What does that sound like? Is that even possible? So, as I started to think about that, I'm like, being children of God, the creator of the universe, the one who creates all things, and that being created through the power of word or spoken word. In most religions across the world, you hear about the power of the spoken word. Even the religions that outdate Abrahamic religions, you hear about the power of the spoken word and creative power. So, as being children, okay, or those whom have emerged from the Creator and being made in the image and likeness thereof, we have in us creative ability. And since we're not just physical beings, but spiritual beings, that our words have life, they have spirit, which means they have energy, they have power, which means they're able to create and manifest. Okay. Constantly. I know throughout the scriptures that there are so many examples of God speaking and it happening. Okay, or that the word was sent to accomplish a certain purpose, and whatever that word was sent for, that purpose was accomplished in the earth. Or in the beginning, God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. We can go through that, or the word coming in the flesh, right, in Jesus, and that word becoming the light. in life of men or humanity. So we can go on and on and on about the word and what it means and its power. So imagine that you have that same creative ability to be able to speak over your life and the lives of others. Like, what are you saying? What do you say to yourself every day? What do you speak to your children? What do you speak over your children? Another aspect that I saw was being able to speak blessings over family members and over children, but also over your own lives. So it's like we got to start thinking about life a little differently. Um, and again, because if we're being fed without any control over it at times, so much negativity that's coming in from the world, we got to switch that. We have to then create our own positive space. We have to shift the atmosphere. So it's like we're going to start shifting the atmosphere today because we want to see different things manifest in our lives, not that which brings negativity or darkness, because it feeds off of, more darkness attracts more darkness. Negativity attracts more negativity. Okay, just like positivity and light and love, that attracts that. So where does it start? It starts with us as individuals before we can get into speaking over. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't want you speaking over me if you ain't right. I don't want it. No, thank you. Okay, I'm gonna let you keep that to yourself. Don't you come over here speaking nothing over me. I've been like, Father God, no, we ain't having that. So we have to learn to start to speak over ourselves, right? And it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Sometimes we have been so beat up in life by people's words. Okay, could have been a teacher, could have been a parent, could have been a sibling, a neighborhood bully, all right, that spoke negativity to us over and over again, that we began to internalize that. It was in our thinking, ingrained so deeply in our thinking that all we could see is ourselves as somebody else has defined us and labeled us. But we have to begin to change that. We have to allow our minds to be transformed, right, by a new way of thinking. And so we're going to start talking about new ways of thinking about ourselves. And I want you all to chime in if you know of those experiences, if you don't mind sharing where, someone spoke negatively to you or over you throughout your life and you began to take those things in and internalize them to say, well, yeah, maybe you're right. I'll never be nothing, or no one will ever love me, or I'll never be able to love again because this, that, or the other, or I'm ugly, or I'm too fat, I'm too skinny, I'm too this, whatever the case is, some way or another, you saying I'm not enough.
Ambitious Movers Company said, I agree.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Yes. And so we have to change that. We have to shift that and we have to start that with ourselves. So, I mean, I just want to know, have any of you ever looked in the mirror and said, I love you to you, to yourself? Can you actually look yourself in the eyes, in the mirror, okay, and say, I love you? You know, I'll give you a few seconds to go and try, like running. Okay. I want to see if you can, actually do that. And I'm serious because that sometimes is very difficult for people to do. Why? Because they don't love themselves. I'm like, who taught you to hate you? Right. So I think that first thing we have to begin to do is do that self work, that inward work. Like, hey, you know what? Hey, you. Now I'm going to use myself. Okay. Tracy, I'm looking in the mirror as if I'm looking in the mirror. And I do this, y'all. I do this. I had to force myself to do this. Tracy, I love you. I love you fully and completely. I never want my love for you, Tracy, to fail you. You know, you are more than enough. You are beautiful. You are amazing. You are smart. You are a success. You are successful. You are victorious in this life. I can go on and on and on. But I had to begin to do that for myself so that I could begin to love me fully and love myself completely before I expect somebody else out in the world to love me. I had to begin to check that for myself. I had to tap into that. Then I had to think about how God created me fearfully and wonderfully to be made in the image and likeness of God. There is no one higher. So when I think about that and I think that God created me, then I don't have to compare myself to anyone else in the world. No one.
Energy envious of no one, say even to smile at yourself. Like when you're
Yes.
talking about looking
Yes.
in the mirror saying, I love you.
Yeah, yes, that's positivity that and light that you're giving to yourself. I agree with you. And we don't do that enough, you know, for ourselves to help build ourselves. And there are times where there's not going to be anyone else to encourage you. You're going to have to do what? Encourage yourself. You know, David had to encourage himself in the Bible. It was like, look, ain't nobody else around. Sometimes you're going to talk to me like, girl, I know what just happened, but you're going to make it. I don't care what it looks like. You're going to make it. I don't care what you done been through. You're going to make it. Okay? And then after you know you've been through something, and sometimes that thing come back and haunt you a little bit, and you have to be like, you know what? I may not be as far as I want to be, but I'm much further than what I was then. And I'm thankful for where God has me now. And I don't look like what I done been through. Okay? Because you have to talk to yourself and encourage yourself. And so I think that is very important to start there, to speak over your life. How many of you, I just want to know, chime in, please let me know, how many of you speak over your relationships? I mean, especially if you call yourself being in love, if you're so deeply in love, do you speak over that? For the success of that, for the blessing of that, do you speak over your partner? Other than like, Negro, you didn't wash the dishes or something like that, or you need to do this, that, and the other. What words of affirmation do you share and speak over someone else in your life? What blessings do you speak over your children? Other than praying for their safety, I would pray and hope so. But do you speak over them that you will be great? Do you look at them and see their gifts and their talents and their skills and creativities? Do you speak over them? Or are you just only saying when something's wrong?
Donna Perry Anderson said, wow, Dr. T, I'm doing my Queen Esther lesson Thursday, and it's about renewing your mind. We have to get rid of our stinking thinking and
Yes.
keep our minds focused on Jesus and who he say we are.
That's right. We got to get rid of that stinking thinking, boy, because that stinking thinking stinks. And when that is ingrained in our hearts and our spirits, sometimes it is so hard to get rid of. And you're right. Because I know I've had to pray, like, Jesus, help me, you know, to overcome that stinking thinking. Because sometimes we can have people say a positive thing, positive, positive, positive. And it takes one, to say one negative thing. And all of a sudden you start doubting yourself. That's why I go back to don't compare yourself to anyone. Be the magnificence that God has created and called you to be. There is no other person like you, and no one can beat you at being you. And you can't beat somebody else at being them. So stay in your own lane, okay? And be great at being you. Be that person and know that you are magnificent and how wonderful you are, how handsome you are, how beautiful you are. Not just in your physical appearance, that aesthetic, but deep down in your soul and spirit, the core of who you are. Do you love you to your soul's core? Do you love yourself that deeply? Because sometimes we want or expect other people to love us that deeply when we don't love ourselves that deeply.
Ambitious Movers Company said a lot of people are afraid to climb from out of their sunken place because a new reimagined version of ourselves is scary when presented to the world.
Yes, it is. And for some, it is. And you know what? That's what the importance of community and also being able to encourage yourself because it is scary to change, to do something different. But in order to realize our full selves, we have to be willing to take that step. There are so many things that you can accomplish and that you're supposed to do, but we need you to have the courage. You okay? To be able to do it. But you know what? You're not going to believe in yourself if you don't learn to love yourself, it starts with you. It's nice when people believe in us and encourage us and affirm us, but that's not going to always happen. So we have to learn to do that for ourselves. And we have to start that journey. And that is so important, to speak over our own lives and all those things that we are connected to. I mean, you're taking a class, right? I hope you're speaking over your being successful in that class and passing that course. If there is some dream that you have, I hope you're speaking over that. I hope you've written it down, that you're praying over that thing has become a goal until it manifests. Okay, you got to speak on it every day. You speak on it every day. However, you set it up, every other day, once a week, you do your affirmations, but you have to be able to do that. And we have to be able to do that for those in our community. But I'm going to say, before we get to our community, again, in the household, you know, what are you saying to yourself? What are you saying to your loved ones? What are they saying to you? you know because sometimes we are connected to toxic situations, and sometimes, I mean, it's one thing if someone helps you to see something negative that you may be doing, okay, but even that should be done in love, in light. It should not be a constant degrading, or bombarding you with all types of negative things. You not this, you that should not be, because that beats you down. Okay. And if there are things in our behavior that we need to change, we must. Okay. um so that we won't get to a point, we should always be evolving and growing, so we won't become complacent. We can be content in being connected to God, or whatever your divine source is and how you express that. Okay. But we should be connected there, and that should be contentment in that alignment. But you should never become stale. You shouldn't become stale Wonder Bread, but stale bread nasty too. That stale bread is nasty. And you don't want to become stale bread in life. You want to have a life giving force. All right. And if your energy should be giving life to others. And when you walk in the room, does your energy bring light, or does it bring darkness? Does it bring negativity, or does it bring positivity? Does it bring love, or does it bring dissension and division? These are things we have to be honest about and ask ourselves, so that we can change those things. And then we can pray about those things and meditate on those positive things. Sometimes we think on negative things. Sometimes, have you spoken to people where they are just constantly talking about negative? You know, this person died, this thing happened, this person got put out. Let me tell you about this. And you like, Father God, you feel like you need to go to the altar and repent. And you haven't even done anything. You just sat and listened to this person because they just had so much negativity. Sometimes we have to change the things that we focus on and concentrate on. Sometimes we give our problems more power than they should have.
Donna Perry Anderson said, "There's life and death in the tongue. Speaking life over ourselves, children, grandchildren, and
Yes.
families." And then, energy envious of no one says, "It was me."
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not sure which part she's referring to, the "it was me" part.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. And that's what we were talking about at the beginning. Absolutely. That life and death are in the power of the tongue. That's what we started out with. Life and death are in the power of the tongue. And what you're speaking over yourself and others, it makes a difference. What are you speaking over your community? You know? What are you speaking to people when you get into work? What do you allow people to speak to you? That's important as well. And that's where it comes in certain relationships, where you have to say, well, no, I'm not going to allow that. I'm not going to allow you to disrespect me or dishonor me in that way, or to speak negativity over me. No, I will make it. I will be healed. I will finish school. I will, if that is your desire to get married, I will, whatever that is, or the I ams, you know. And I think more so, what I see more so, and you all tell me, you share your experiences, that most often I find that people don't think that they are enough. But if they are adults thinking that they are not enough, that means something happened along the way in life where that person encountered people or situations that drew life from them. It sucked life right out of them. Okay, just sucked the joy out of them, the love out of them, the peace out of them. Okay, and they kind of get older and they get doubtful, they become bitter, they become hard because the world has been harsh. But I want to say to you all that you all are worthy and deserving of love. You know, the love of God and the love of self. You know, that God created you in God's image and likeness. You are a human being with human dignity and value and worth. And you deserve to be loved. You deserve to be respected. You deserve to be honored. You deserve to be successful in life. You deserve to be victorious. You deserve to make it, you know? So these are the things we have to make sure that we are speaking in our own lives so that we can become a well of living water, like a fountain, so that others can drink from, like a tree that others can come and perch in and eat from. Okay?
Energy said she was the one that said it was me. She was saying being negative, but change my thinking process and unlearning past behaviors.
Yes, we have to, right? Sometimes that change has to start with us. Isn't it Michael Jackson that sang that about the man in the, well, in this case, the woman in the mirror? Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, you guys. You know, little lipstick on the lips. I mean, on the teeth. We can't have that. We can't have that. Okay. All right. Yes. So, I mean, yes, you're absolutely right. We have to start with ourselves and look at ourselves and see what we need to change. Okay. So we won't be feeding people negativity. We want the waters of our fountains to bring life and healing, love, and joy. People should feel better when they leave you, not worse. Okay, they should not go home and feel, I mean, unless they just feeling the guilt of their own ways, you know. Now you can't help that, but they should not feel bad because you have torn them down so much. Okay, or you brought such an energy with you that it disrupted their good flow. That should not be the case. We have to do different. And I really stand, you know, if you're teachers, I don't care what level, from daycare to collegiate, okay, you have to be positive. You have to give life and love to your students while you're educating them, while you are pouring into them, but also while you're helping to bring out what is stored within them, right? As you're helping them to, you know, grow and become into them their full selves and be great in the world, you have to make sure that you become like a garden for them, fertile ground where they can grow and be nurtured, where they can become beautiful blossoms in the world. Okay, instead of thorns. Thorns have their place now, but it should not be that your soil causes them death as opposed to life. You should not be killing people's spirits. Okay? I can remember a teacher speaking negatively to me in the classroom in my love for math and learning math and numbers. And I can remember that teacher saying, that's why fat people like you don't have any brains. I was like, what, in the fourth or fifth grade, trying to learn mathematics. I knew numbers, I understood numbers, but I could give an answer to a problem without fully working it out in the way, the traditional way in which they taught. Instead of him working with me, he decided to berate me before the class. Of
What's
course,
his name? Where he live?
like, go get him, right? Like, who's that? Ooh, you know, but if you can imagine the level of humiliation that happened to me on that particular day as a child, And it wasn't even my nature to be cruel and evil and things like that. And you have a teacher, this big overgrown dude, to speak when he has authority and power in the classroom and used it in a way that was so damaging. But he's not the only one. There are others who have used that platform to be equally as damaging. So we have to make sure that we're not killing people's spirit. But now that I'm older, I realize that he was insecure, that he had issues, okay? Where somebody probably did the same thing to him or worse, okay? And that thing never got healed. Okay, so that's what we have to make sure that those wounds within us that's still hurting and dripping and they've become infected and oozing, and now they become like a flesh eating bacteria and it's causing death in other people's lives and sickness, then we have to change something. We have to go back to the drawing board, okay? And we have to work with those things. We have to use those resources that are around us for counseling, okay, meditation, prayer, whatever it takes. It may take various types of resources, okay, to be able to help heal those things in the inside so that we can become a garden for people with, so we can be that fertile ground for people to grow and to be nurtured and cultivated and become who they're supposed to be, as we are also becoming who we're supposed to be, right? um so that's very key. And don't forget, you can pop in. We still, giving away the books in case you came in late. We want to show Michael Harriet some love here, and we'll give them away until they're gone. It's just 2 copies left, but again, you can pop in, ask a question, give a comment, say hello, let us see your beautiful face. Okay. And that's the thing. I think about that. And I'm not saying this is the case for you all. Somebody may be driving, they may be home, they may be in an environment that they don't want to necessarily want anyone to see. But sometimes the reason why we don't even show our faces is because we're scared of what someone's going to think about how we look. It's those things. It's the little most subtle things sometimes that can create a slow leak in the tire, right? And then before you know it, you somewhere where you need to get, and that thing goes totally flat. And so I guess I'm stopping by today so that tire won't go totally flat. I want to be able to breathe life into you. I want to be able to encourage you, empower you, speak over your life, you know, to let you know I believe in you. I believe in your journey. I believe in your ability to be able to overcome those things, those obstacles that have slowed you down. I believe they will actually, if they were intended for evil, that God would flip it around and allow those very things to work for your good and help to set you up and build you up to be a greater blessing and to be blessed. Speaking over your lives that you will be blessed, that you will be at peace, that you will be prosperous, that you will have a long life, that you will be healed or that you will be healthy. Okay. These are the things that I want for you and your family. If you married, that you have a long and prosperous, enduring marriage with marital bliss, a lot of love and joy and peace. If you're single, that you would have a lot of love, joy, and peace and happiness in your life as well. And that you will hook up with someone who will love you completely and fully, and who you're able to love and who would treat you with so much love and respect that you all's love together would be transformative for the other with a lot of honor and respect. If you're, seeking a new job opportunity, a new career path, or a new dream you want to, that's been on your mind and heart, but you've been scared to take that first step because you're like, oh, I don't know if it's going to be good enough. I don't know if people are going to like it. Well, no, they're going to love it. Okay. You have what it takes to do it. So I hope whatever that thing is, if it's a book that you're supposed to have been writing, write the book. You know, if it was going back to school, then go back to school. You have what it takes to get it done. Okay. You're not in a race against no one, not even time, because you can't beat time either. Okay. So do that, what you want to do. Life is for living. If there's nothing that I learned from my mama's death, is that life is for living And you need to learn to live and enjoy every second and moment that you are given. Use it. Use every second and moment. Use it to your advantage, use it to your advancement. Okay? Don't waste one moment. Do not waste 1 second. Okay? If you weren't about the book, look, write down the title. Okay? Do an outline, whatever it takes, just get it started. Start it. I believe in you and your ability to be able to accomplish that thing. If you want to travel around the world, let me see you save your first $10 to that. Okay? If you want to buy a house, let me see you put down your first $5 in a savings account to save money so that you can be able to do that. If it's that you need to correct your credit, that you do whatever it is. If you say, well, I want to have more knowledge in this area, then go ahead and buy the book. Go ahead and study. Do what it needs to be done. That you just want to be closer to God. Then step out on that spiritual journey. Do it. Don't let your own doubts and fears, because that is negativity. That is dark energy that you're letting into your own mind space. You have to guard your heart. You have to guard your mind, your ears, your eyes, all your gateways. What are you allowing into yourself? That's why you have to be careful who you hook up with, right? Yeah. You hook up with something, get left with something, you're like, that's all right. Take that and that invisible friend back with you. I don't know what you done brought over here, but I don't want that anymore. I don't want that. It's not helping me. But in the sense that you have to be careful who you hook up with, okay? And what they're bringing to your life. Are they giving you life? Are they bringing you love and light and positivity? Or are they bringing you darkness and negativity? Are they bringing you down? These are important questions you have to, ask and answer for yourselves. We all have to do that. I mean, do you all have any experiences you would like to share? Any comments, questions? I want you all to just, chime in. I love the comments. I love the questions. This is a conversation, like we just at home chilling, talking, having a conversation. That is it. Um, because I am running into people who are hurting, who are broken, who are struggling with a lot of negative energy or dark energy, and it's keeping them from being productive. It's keeping them from living a happy life. It's sucking life right out of them, joy right out of them. You know, and we don't want that. We want people to be able to live life to the fullest. We want you to be everything that you were meant to be and so much more. Never let anyone rob you of that. Your joy is yours. Your power is yours. Don't give your power to someone else. Don't give it to darkness. No, don't do that. You have a right to your own power, and that power is yours. And use that power in the way that you believe God has given. You have a voice. Some of you all out here supposed to be our next leaders, political leaders, community leaders. Your voice is needed in the world, but you're scared to speak because one day somebody told you that what you said wasn't important. Yes, it is. And there's somebody who needs you and who needs your voice, who needs your gift, who needs your talent, who needs your skills. And you're scared. You're sitting on it. You know, I've done it too. I've been scared to do things. Man, every time I speak, I get nervous. A few weeks from now, I think on the 28th, November 28th, I'm doing a book talk. So I was like, darn, I don't know if I ever write a book again. So after I did my dissertation, I went on ahead and published it. I did not. That was in like what 2020 or something like that. I didn't do a book talk for this thing. I avoided it. Why? Because my nerves get bad. I'm like, what if I don't say it right? What if da 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 da? I go through all of this. I go through this every time I speak. So I avoided it. But finally, that time is coming. So I understand sometimes that our fears and our doubts can make us, withdrawn a little bit or keep us from reaching our goals and our dreams or really, living out our full potential. And so we have to be mindful of that. And one of the reasons why I still fight those doubts from something that somebody said to me almost 50 years ago. Well, 40 something years. I'm telling them my age now, but I don't care. I'm 51. So it's like all right. So it's like that was years ago, man. That was almost 40 years ago. But that doubt, that's something that I constantly have to fight. And that's why I have to speak in the mirror and remind myself of who I am. My mom used to say that. Let them know who you are. Are you crazy? Like, no, kiddo. All this greatness that you have inside of you, don't hide that. That's the other thing. Never shrink back to make somebody else feel good about who they are. Don't do that. Mm-mm. Nope, 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 nope. Live out your life. Do what God has called you to do. Don't ever shrink back to make somebody else feel good about themselves because that's not helping them. It's not helping them grow. It's not helping them to be mature. It's not helping them to adult, as the kids like to say. We're adulting now. We have to be adults. And part of that is that we have to be responsible and accountable, you know? And I don't know, have any of you all ever had a negative experience where that thing still bothers you? It could be in a relationship, like say for instance, you were in a relationship and someone said, well, nobody will ever love you because of A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Or it could have been in a classroom, or you could have been working on a project at work and somebody criticized your thing, your work in a very negative way. You know what I'm saying? So those are the things that I'm talking about. Do you all have any experiences like that? Or would you like to share what some of your positive affirmations are? Would you like to drop some of those in the chat? What are your positive affirmations? What do you speak over yourself? What do you speak over your career? Okay. What do you speak over your life in general? What do you speak over your kids? I would love to know. I would love to hear from you to know uh, what you what you share with your family or just with yourself. What do you look in the mirror and say every day? I mean, I know some of you all out there are just major queens and kings, so you already come with it like, I know I look good, God. I know y'all get in the mirror like, yes, 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 yes. Oh, God, yes. Look at all this glory, Father God. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know you all do this, okay? But, I mean, no, really, tell me some of those things. Or if you haven't been doing it, are you going to start? I would love to know. Please share it in the chat. I would love to hear from you.
Donna Perry Anderson says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I'm God's
Amen.
child and fearfully and wonderfully made.
Yes, yes, yes. Amen. That's a beautiful start right there. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, 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 yes. Anybody else with any positive affirmations, drop them in the chat. Put them out there. Encourage your brother, encourage your sister, encourage yourself, your children. Someone else may look at this later and be like, oh wow, and they might need to hear a word to be encouraged. And it might be something you dropped in the chat, that could be life changing for that individual. Or somebody that may be on the line right now. I mean on live stream right now, and they're listening and seeing your comments. So please definitely share. We would love, love, love to hear from you. Because see, there you are. You're a voice in this world. And you have the right to be heard. Okay. Um, there was yes, I went to see an exhibit this weekend. I went to see From the Deep down at the African Art Museum here in DC, and it was absolutely amazing. I encourage you all to go see it, go see it, see it. It deals with the divine feminine. It is it's great. The artist, I mean, I just take off my hat to her. She did an absolutely Wonderful, wonderful job. And I think, just seeing the different aspect of a person and being able to regain one's strength after having gone through so much. And we talking about that with African ancestors, right? And definitely dealing with the Middle Passage in the transatlantic slave trade and that impact, okay, on enslaved Africans and those who would, and their descendants and what that meant. And I mean, it is fabulous what she shared, and I mean, what's in the exhibit. And so, and see, that thing speaks life to others and bring others, a positive imaging of themselves and regaining who they are after they've been stripped of their culture and of their language and of their lives, how they were able to recapture that and create something very beautiful. So I'm just hoping for anyone just, um, tapping in that you are able to take that and reimagine your life. I don't care what has happened to you, who did what mistakes you've made, all of that that is in your past. Okay. I know that you have the ability to turn that around, reimagine your story, and create something beautiful. Okay. That you're able to create a different narrative. You're able to shift the story in such a way that it can bring you glory, okay? That you can get the glory out of it, that God can get the glory out of it. Like Donna, like my cousin Donna, you can definitely. I know sometimes when I start off in the morning, whether it's my prayer or when I'm speaking over myself, I say, quick, that God, you are my father. You're my dad. You love me with an unfailing love, and I am your daughter, you know and I'm like, oh, what is it you desire from me this day? But because of that connection alone and just understanding the divinity that is within humanity, okay, that gives me a jump start. That's a different type of power you get to connect to. And I love connecting to that power. I ain't gonna lie. I love diving deep into it, connecting to it, because that's what motivates me. That's what empowers me. That's what keeps me going. Okay. That is more like an anchor and a grounding for me, a centering for me. Yes, also being out in nature is a centering for me and a grounding, being with family, friends. Everything has its place, but that right there is core and central. And for most people, their spiritual journey is, that is where they gain strength and that's where they connect to light, life, and love so that they can be able to produce that in the world and those whom they are around. Um, yeah, so I think about my niece, she's one of the littles, and I can just think about her. Sometimes you know, she fights with everything, and especially when she's going through the beautification process. I don't care if it's a bad, whatever,
Oh,
putting her clothes on.
it just ended.
It did.
Yeah, just said we're sorry your live video ended.
Oh,
I
okay,
mean, we're still live.
okay,
Just
all righty. Well, we have a little technical difficulty. We must be definitely on the right track, okay? Um, but
we're gonna pick it back up.
okay, yeah. So my niece, whenever she's going through and she's getting her hair washed or something like that, or comb, she just doesn't like for you to touch her hair. It doesn't have to hurt. It doesn't matter. She's just not down with that. You can give her snacks and juice. She's just not really feeling it. But after it's done, and she sees how her hair looks, that her hair is done now with a little curly puffs or whatever it is, with how that she has on her little outfit, she just smiles and looks at herself in the mirror and she's so proud of that end product. And so sometimes we have to realize that in life we have to struggle, we're going to fight, we're going to go through some things, we're going to go through some struggles, but in the end, that we can definitely be able to look at ourselves in the mirror and be like, you know what? Hey, you know what? I look good after all. God done a thing here, and be able to walk in that beauty. And beauty again, not just a physical beauty, but beauty of the soul. Because I'm going to tell you, those are the people that I remember. Not who looked good or physically pleasing. Now, I ain't going to lie now. When I see a good looking man, now I don't forget so quickly. I'll be like, Lord have mercy. That is one fine specimen. God did some amazing artwork there. But I ain't saying, but the people who impact me most are those who have a beautiful and loving spirit. When I can feel that type of energy, that impacts me in a totally different way. And man, my life is changed and touched from that moment on. And I don't forget them. I might even forget their name, but I do not forget how they made me feel. Okay? And I'm here to tell you that some people will never forget about how you made them feel. And so you want to make sure you leave people with a feeling that they remember for a good reason and not for a negative one. And I'm not saying you have to be sugary, sweet, and syrupy. Everybody's not going to be that person. But that doesn't mean that you have to be. I know some people that are kind of gruff, that doesn't, they're not all syrupy, sweet, but I don't leave their presence feeling a darkness or a heaviness or weight. I can leave their presence feeling just as jovial and light and full of love and life because that's who they are on the inside. And you know how when you come across something that stank, not just stink, but stank, or somebody that stank, and you like, and you don't because it's they smell bad. Don't leave that with somebody. In a spirit that you got a funky spirit, that your spirit stank. You don't want that stank spirit. I don't want that stank spirit on me. I don't want it anywhere near me. And I don't want to have to say of you pew. You don't want anybody saying, "Oh, pew." When it comes to them pew, she stinks, he stinks, because your attitude, because your spirit, your energy leaves them with that. And make sure that you pour into other people in such a way that their cup is full. You're not gonna always be able to fill everybody's cup because sometimes your cup gonna have a crack and you may need your cup mended and somebody to pour into you. But that's why it's important that you also learn to encourage yourself and take time away so you can be restored, right? So that your cup can be filled. But we have to make sure we raise people in our homes and our households, our family members, in our communities, our extended family, that we pour into them in such a way that when they go out into the world, they don't stink. Okay, people won't have to say of them pew. Like who have you been around? Because you got a funky spirit, you got a funky attitude. We don't want to leave that type of stinking. But see, that stinking behavior comes from that stinking thinking that Donna was mentioning earlier. So you have to allow your mind to go through that type of renewal. Okay, in your words, your speech. How do you speak? That meta nature. What is your good speech? What are you what are you speaking from your mouth? You know, um, I think it's yeah, Jacob Carruthers, Dr. Jacob Carruthers. Let me speak of our ancestor correctly, and give him his respect. In his book Meta Nature, he's talking about that good speech. Good speech, because good speech leads to good behavior, but good speech stems from a good spirit, a good heart, right? So we have to make sure that we are connected to things that's going to help. Okay, bring us the positivity, the light, because we all need it. Sometimes I like it a little dim. We are just supposed to be salt of the earth. We bring seasoning and life, but we're supposed to be this life giving force. And we can't do that if we are depleted. So we have to, make sure our cups are full so that we can be a clean glass of water for somebody else. Okay, and not giving them like Anacostia River water to drink. That's going to take you out. I don't care what they say. I don't think that water can ever be that clean. But
As
that's
Francis said, true words. We have a few more people on than before since we went back live. So I don't know if you want to ask again about the affirmations or something.
okay. Yes, yes. For those who may be just joining in, first of all, hello. I love you. I love you. I love you. I really do. I would like to know what positive affirmations that you speak over your life in the mornings, or that you speak over your goals, your dreams, your jobs, anything, like what do you look in the mirror and say to yourself, or what do you close your eyes and think of or speak to yourself? Like, do you say, like, I know I am more than enough, I know I'm more than a conqueror, that I am beautiful, that I am successful? What are the things that you say to yourself, that I shall not shrink back for anyone to feel great, but I will always help people reach their greatness? What are those things that you say or that you share with your families? What things do you speak over your children, or over those, your extended family, those at work? How do you affirm your coworkers, those who you work with? Because you spend a lot of time with them jokers, 8 hours, some people longer. It better be some level of affirmation and love up in there somewhere, right? So tell me, anybody, you want to share for those who came in? And if you just coming in, I do have this book for those who, we have 2 copies left. If you want to come on live, and say hello and show the world your beautiful, handsome face, we would love to be able to give you a copy of this book. Okay, we have 2 left.
Monique Smithson, hey, she said, I have not developed this habit. I do try to say, get her done. And Beautis C says, everything I need to succeed is already in my life.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. Yes.
Vinci Queen or Quinn, sorry if I get your names wrong, says, for I know the thoughts that I think toward you, saith the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end.
Yes, yes, yes. Come on now. Yes, yes, yes. Speaking favor and blessings over your lives. Anybody else? I'm loving these. I'm loving these. Because as you all are sharing them, people are taking these and speaking these over their own lives, or they will use them, themselves. So I'm loving it. I'm loving. Please share. This is great, because you do have everything you need already within you to succeed and to accomplish the purpose for which you were sent. Even you are a manifested word of God spoken. God spoken, then there was you. Okay.
Judith C says, I'm becoming the person I always dreamed of.
Oh, yeah.
Don't forget, y'all can hop on request to join this live and you can win a free copy of Black AF History. All you gotta do is click that button, request to join.
Yes.
2 people. We got 2 more left.
Two. We know somebody is courageous enough. Okay? I'm speaking affirmation. You are courageous. You are courageous. You are brave enough to jump on so that you can get a copy of this book. Okay, we would love to be able to give that to you. Okay, yeah. So these affirmations are so important. Have you what is a comment or something that someone has spoken to you that was very affirming, and you were like, wow, that I felt that? You know how we quick say, oh, I felt that, because words are spirit, and you do feel that. You almost feel like a quickening, right? So as I was saying earlier, words are spirit. They're like a double-edged sword. The word of God is like a double-edged sword, right? Cutting even to the bone marrow. So we understand that words are that powerful, and they have the ability to manifest things in your life. So, like, what words were spoken to you and it affirmed you, or it stuck with you for life, and it made you feel a certain type of way? Um, or if it was a negative one, instead somebody spoke to you, so that others can be encouraged not to speak that to someone else, or if they have, to apologize, and to ask for forgiveness, and then to change the behavior. you know 'Cause like we said, we don't want them stinking spirits, them funky spirits hanging around. We don't want to leave anybody with a bad smell. We want to be a sweet smelling fragrance, a nice something somebody will remember, and not be like, oh no, let me shut my door. Here coming that funky spirit. No, no, we don't want that. We want cleanliness.
As Granted said, every day is a new day to restart or pick back up. My life and transgressions will change from dirt to diamond. God, greatest gift with pressure. And then Bethune Development said the Bob Marley song, Lord, I Thank You.
Yes, yes. Okay, that's a good one. Now I have to ask that. What songs do you use? because there are a lot of positive songs out here that really just get you like you be in there in the morning or in the afternoon or evening, and you be jamming, jamming, and those songs have a way to motivate us and to help shift the atmosphere, or sometimes the clothing that we wear can help shift the atmosphere. I know that sometimes people feel like when they're really dressed up that they're able to give more, they're able to give their best. Also, yeah, so when people look good, they feel good and they feel really positive, and so they give off an energy. The other day I walked in here and Kamal had on like this beautiful like cream, almost like linen type of uh outfit. And man, as soon as I saw him, I thought of calm, I thought of peace and tranquility, and I thought of being near the waters, the beach. I mean, it was all of this positive energy that was flowing, and I was like, "Wow, come on, I'm just getting all these positive vibes from you right now." He was like, "Wow, it's so nice to feel that for me." So it was the way that he encouraged himself. So yeah, so please share if you have a song that encourages you, or if you have a something that you wear that helps to encourage you and feel more beautiful, positive. Yeah, just chime in.
Beauty says, "Be strong" by Sizzler.
Okay, all right. And see, now y'all gonna have to get some of these songs on your playlist. All right.
Uh, Bitsy Queen,
Yes.
"Joyful" by Dante Bowe.
Okay, okay. Yes, y'all got them coming in now. All right. This is awesome. This is awesome. So you all make sure you all listen to some of these songs and add them to your playlist when you need a positive boost. Because sometimes music can help us, get to a certain spiritual space and place, a mental place. Uh, I was talking to someone when we went to the inauguration for Howard University's president, the 18th president, Ben Vincent, Dr. Ben Vincent. Uh, there was they were singing the song "Enlarge My Territory." I forget who sings it, but you all know that song. Enlarge my territory. I cannot sing, but you get what I'm saying, right? Anyways, the young lady that was singing, I mean, she tore it up. I mean, she was singing it beautifully. And then during part of the song, she started singing over the president, like that God would bless him and enlarge his territory. So she's allowing this blessing. She's just in look, she's vibing and she's vibing up and she's sharing the blessing and that the anointing that was flowing through the music, and you could just see that God was using her. And one of my buddies and colleagues, I consider him a brother. Here I was talking to him and he was like, see, this is where the conversion happened. It's that song of Maze. Like, I was crying, that song brought me to tears, and I could feel it. I could really feel that song. And yes, so music has a way of shifting the atmosphere for us too, and putting us in a more positive space and place, and getting us ready, to be able to do whatever it is that is before us for that day, or for that week or that moment, wherever it is. We have that music that just power us up, and get us in the mindset that we need. So yeah, so please share the music, that may, or whatever that thing is, that gets you ready, that, helps you to get in a positive space and place. All right. It's different for everyone. It's not going to be the same. The goal should be the same, which is to be able to harness that godly light and power and life and love, and to be able to share that with other human beings. Our presence should be transformative. When we walk in a room, it should be a transformative experience. And not just because you look good. I know you cute. I know you fine. I know. Trust me. Mm, I know. All right. Me and this purple lipstick. I can't wear this lipstick. This thing's sticky. I don't know what kind of lipstick is that. Is that Revlon? I don't know what it is, but it keeps coming off. So see what I'm saying? We have to be beautiful. We have to be cute. So I get it, you fine and cute and all, but with that, we still have to make sure that we are bringing that transformative rooming experience. Yeah, people see us and they see you and they like, oh, he or she is drop dead gorgeous. Yes, woohoo. They fine, they sexy, whatever the case may be. But no, I mean transformative in a sense that you are just so life giving. Your words just carry so much power and spirit that they will never be the same. Uh, Working on my PhD, I must tell you, when I was in undergrad, my advisor, Dr. Shagun Badagashian, I love him dearly. He was the chair at the time, and also, of course, he was one of my professors. He was teaching, and he was my advisor. And I can remember as I was getting towards the end of my bachelor's degree, he said, "You know what? He said, I see you teaching one day and I see you with a PhD. And I bust out laughing. I can remember, I can still see that moment, you know. And I laughed. I was like, no way, not me. I said, I'm tired. After these years, I said, that's it. This is it. I'm not going any further than this. He's like, okay. He's like, but I want you to know I believe in you. And can I please tell you how much that transformed my life? And that has stuck with me throughout my whole educational experience. And anything that I do, as it has to do with academia, I remember his words, that I believe in you. And I was like, wow, he saw more in me at that time than I saw in myself. And sometimes we see that greatness. I have family members that do that all the time. I'm gonna be honest. One of my cousins, that chimes in, she was on here earlier. Donna, she's always saying very positive things, but she's been doing this for years. Somebody would probably think that she just started doing this, or after I ended up going to ministry. No, she's been doing this for years. Like when it came to things as related to ministry, they certain things she just said over and over again that she has said over the years. But sometimes people see in you things you don't see in yourself, that are good, that are wonderful, that are positive. And sometimes we need to hear that encouraging word. But that's the power of it. When someone speaks something positive over your life, and when they see that greatness inside of you, and they're able to tap into that and say, well, no, no, I believe in you. I see the greatness that God has in you. Or you will be that engineer, or you will be that teacher, you will be that leader. Okay, they're able to see that whoever, or you will be that loving husband, you will be that loving wife, or friend, you will be that loyal friend. You can see that in you. I'm not saying you never allow anyone to use you, and don't be anybody's fool. God didn't raise you to be a fool. God didn't create and make you to be one. So you live in that, you live in the now. So yeah, so that's the kind of spirit I want us to leave off on today. Okay, we've been on here, we've been able to share. So I hope something said today will have a sweet smelling fragrance, that it will leave you with something that's life giving and that's full of love and light and positivity. Okay, that you can go and share with yourself. All right, and that you can share with others, and hopefully we can all start that journey to speak that level of positivity, or those positive affirmations over our lives, and be able to share that greatness and that beauty with the rest of the world. Okay, I love you very much. Hopefully we'll be able to give away these books next week. I'm hoping. And don't forget to check out these books. You can either come in the store and check out Holly Garima's picks, or you can purchase them online on Sankofa's website. Okay, so love you. Have a blessed week until we see each other again. Thank you for joining Tuesdays with Dr. Traci. Mwah, 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 mwah.